Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Higher Consciousness. Thank you for joining me today to learn what you are renewing this spring 2021. For those of you who are just joining me today, my name is Alexis and I'm an intuitive tarot card reader, an astrologer, artist, and yoga instructor here on YouTube. I like to share my gifts to help those who are looking for some directions in alternative holistic healing pathways. So thank you so much for joining me today. We have our piles listed here, our pile 1 with citrine on top, our pile 2 with a piece of regular quartz, and then our pile 3, a piece of rose quartz. So if you want to take a moment to meditate on the cards and click your timestamp down below, and then we'll see what you are renewing this spring 2021. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose pile number 1, then this reading is for you to determine what it is you are renewing in spring 2021. So right now I have some tarot cards here to start. We have the 10 of Wands in reverse. It seems as though you're having a blockage, as if you are carrying such a large workload that it's so hard to even walk out the door. So I see a blockage here is that you have a lot of desires, a lot of tasks that you are working on, and there's been a blockage with accomplishing these tasks. It's almost like looking at the magnitude of all of it is keeping you in place and from moving forward. We have our 7 of Pentacles here. So I'm getting a sense of stability at home, a sense of the home is where you grow abundance. The home is where you feel very comfortable. It's almost as if it's so comfortable, and with this societal circumstances right now, it's almost like you feel very at home and you feel a little worried about walking around and carrying such a large workload in an uncertain society. We have a waxing crescent moon coming up. Waxing crescent, it's like we're gaining, we're building towards something, we're seeking to build towards something. There's something that you are working on, group 1, and it could be related to the projects at the home life. It could be related to this burden that you need to do out in the public eye, whether it means literally out the door or if it means literally the workload that you have in regards to the public, which could also include online or a social media presence. So you're building something up here, group 1. We have Aries coming in. So let's remember that this intention for our reading today is what it is that you are renewing spring 2021. So I'm getting a sense of very strongly rooted home, but almost as if when it comes to fast moving energy, when it comes to your action energy, you're feeling a little spacey. I'm getting this sense that you feel comfortable at home, but you're mentally spacey. Wands are more mental. They're more on the mental side with swords, whereas Pentacles is more of a stability in the home environment. So it's as if you're feeling very cloudy mentally, and that's what's keeping you from taking on all those projects. But you're building towards it. You are truly building towards it. It all starts with intention. What was I saying about your mental feelings? We have the 4 of Swords in reverse. So it's like you're overcoming some of this. Some of this restlessness is being overcome. Very interesting, because this right here is also in reverse with the 10 of Wands. So maybe actually these two together, maybe you were carrying a lot of weight recently And now in spring 2021, you're finally not going to be carrying the weight or the mental burden that it has been taking upon you. You're going to feel more stable. You're going to be building your mental strength, building the mental strength. What else do we have for group 1, Spirit, now that we're making things much more clear? Queen of Wands coming in, and look at that right next to that 7 of Pentacles, that nice presence of stability, of overcoming the mental blockages and becoming the queen of mental stability and success, of mental abundance. Wands, again, are very fast moving. They're very natural. You're going to feel naturally abundant. What else do we have for group 1, Spirit, that we can help specify a little bit more? Of course, we have rebirth. And rebirth is so wonderful coming in because this is all about spring 2021, which is going to be happening on March 20th, the spring equinox. So it's a natural time of rebirth, and your cycles are tying into that of nature. It's like you're overcoming these mental blockages, and you're becoming more natural. You're overcoming a mental, industrial sort of blockage to move into more of a natural mindset. So maybe it's your mind that is being reborn. You're coming out of a mental fog. You're building clarity. What do we have here? We have coming out of darkness. The moon is emerging from darkness. It's on the state of becoming illuminated. You are moving out of a mental fog into more clarity. What else? Let's see if our next card can help us understand this message. The future is in reverse. Very interesting. So it's almost like a sign from Spirit to let you know that the future is undecided, and it always has potential for going so many different ways, all dependent on what we're doing in the here and now. What we're setting our intentions for is going to play out in the future. So we are rebirthing the mind right now. We are seeing things from a fresh perspective. And Spirit is saying that although we're feeling like we're releasing the old mindset, we're moving into the new, Spirit is letting you know that an important part in creating a new abundance mindset is setting intentions. Without setting intentions, there is no future. Spirit is saying, set your intentions at this time so that you can be the Queen of Wands this spring 2021, so that you can attract natural abundance. It all starts with setting intentions in order to be able to receive in the future. What else? I have one great card here that hopefully is going to tie it all in together, like Spirit always does. We have ancestors in reverse. And I know group 1, seeing a few things in reverse may be a little bit discouraging, but this is where insight is gained. So we have ancestors in reverse. We have the future in reverse. And what do ancestors represent? They represent the past. So having both the past and the future in reverse is showing a mental stagnation. It's like, okay, we're here and now, but what does it mean if we're not considering the future, if we're not considering the past? There isn't really a purpose in the here and now if we don't know where we've been and if we don't know where we're going. So part of the reason why there's this mental fog that you are overcoming is because we're not fully considering messages that guides and ancestors, guardian angels are sending you, and you're not listening to your truest passions and what it is that you want in your future. But you will be, you have the very most potential of overcoming this blockage, this mental fog in spring 2021. You are renewing your mindset, you're rebirthing the mindset, you're coming in touch with your ancestors, you're overcoming this blockage so that you can more clearly see the future, so that you can naturally receive abundance. I hope this helped group number 1. You have many blessings coming to you in spring 2021. It's all about clearing out the old and moving into the new. If this reading helped, please like and subscribe down below and stay tuned for more content. I look forward to seeing you again in a future reading. Take care. Bye. Hello, group number 2. Thank you for joining today to find out what is renewing for you this spring 2021. If you chose group 2, then this reading is for you. So let's see. I have some tarot cards to start us out. We have a 5 of Cups coming up. 5 of Cups. What an intense visual. We have a feeling of emotional loss because the Cups are an emotional card, an emotional suit. And to have them spilled out is almost like you're feeling a bit of why bother? You're feeling a bit like, what's the use? Because if we're not in touch with our feelings, if we're not feeling too good, then we can just release the value. There is no value. If we don't feel valued ourselves, then we get a feeling of what's the use? And we're able to throw things out. So I'm getting a feeling of what's the use? I'm not too sure about this. I'm getting a feeling of release, for better or for worse. Let's find out if Spirit can clarify how this renewal will go about. We have the 6 of Wands. So you're becoming a leader of some sort. You're leading the pathway, and you've got maybe perhaps a younger crowd. Maybe you are a mentor. Maybe you have younger siblings or younger relatives who look up to you for guidance. Maybe you are very spiritual, of a spiritual sort, with the Wands and the Cups coming in. I feel like you're an empath because there's a lot of spiritual energy, there's a lot of emotional energy. So I'm getting a feeling that you're an empath. You've been taking on other people's burdens because you are in charge of this younger community. So you are taking on some of their burdens, and you're feeling kind of heavy about it, feeling kind of emotional behind the scenes, like, what is the use? So you're feeling very composed in a public setting, but behind closed doors, when you're by yourself, you're feeling kind of very emotional, pouring things out when you're not in the public eye. What form of renewal is group 2 experiencing? Wow, guys, wow. I chose to bring in some astrology cards, and sure enough, Saturn sends the message. Flat and clear. If you are into astrology out there, you will know that Saturn is the malefic. Saturn is the father who reprimands. Saturn is the ruler, and Saturn enforces the rules. So it's that you're feeling a bit of karma in your life. You're feeling a bit of walking on eggshells. Maybe that's why you feel very composed in the public setting. but that you're not sharing it with the public setting and behind closed doors. You're letting it all fall out. Maybe it's your Saturn return. Before the Saturn return, we can go through a great time of karma. We can go through a very discouraging time before we reach enlightenment. So it could be that you're going through your Saturn return for those of you who are about the age of 28 or ×2 or ×3. In case there are any older folks out there, you are still having the potential of going through a Saturn return at any of these 3 stages within your life. So you're going through a time of karma right now. And it could also be related to higher education. It could be related to long distance travel. So maybe you have some of these elements coming up in spring 2021. Perhaps you're pursuing higher education. Perhaps you have a long trip planned out. Those are the other ways that Saturn could be playing its part here. We have Vesta coming through, and that is such a beautiful card. So right away, with what I was just saying about long distance travel, I feel like Vesta is an asteroid coming in, and these cosmic bodies tend to travel very freely in the cosmos. They're not in some sort of orbit. So indeed, I do think that you have a long distance travel coming into play because you're very free moving and very colorful and bright. So perhaps by spring 2021, you're going to be experiencing some sort of glow up because there's a lot of dark energies, dark presences over here, and then we have this very bright card. So perhaps you are in fact going through a time of karmic release and things are getting a little challenging before it's going to get a bit brighter and better. Spirit, can we clarify things for our group 2? We have the Fool in reverse. So yes, you have gone through a time, you are overcoming a time of free roaming, of carelessly roaming. There's a difference between roaming with intention and going on a long distance travel with intention, and there's a difference between that and not being aware and just going out because you're in such a joyful place of not being aware of anything but yourself. So it's as though you're overcoming this stage of innocence or this stage of unsurety. You are evolving in spring 2021. We have another tarot card coming here is the Death card. Oh man, that Death card right there next to the 5 of Cups. There's strong Grim Reaper energy. There's definitely some sort of sacrifice that is happening within you, some sort of darker spiritual transformation that is happening in your life right now. And when I'm looking at this 6 of Wands again and right next to it, I'm getting a sense that maybe your old outlook is being reborn. Maybe you're going to start doing more youth work. Perhaps you've been doing some sort of other work that is draining you energetically and not helping fulfill your spiritual needs. And perhaps working with youth or being more involved with your family and your extended family is helping at this time, is brightening you up after this feeling of emotional loss. Again, emotional loss. What else do we have, Spirit? How will group 2 be renewed? You're in the in-between. You're going to be in the in-between spring 2021. You're going to be moving from this stage of death and releasing your innocence. You're going to be removing yourself from this. You're going to be in this wide open, expansive space. You're going to be the asteroid that's free roaming. You're going to be the traveler. the one who seeks for knowledge. You're going to be in the in-between. So it's very likely that you are releasing attachments to material possessions at this time. You're pouring things out. You're releasing your attachments to material possessions because you're discovering the true meaning of life through your quest for knowledge. So you're in this in-between stage where you're about to be reborn, but right now you're going through a spiritual transformation where you first have to lose, where there's a great amount of loss. So I'm really feeling for you, group 2, if you're going through a loss right now, hang in there, because that quest for knowledge and that bright pursuit of a quest is going to be your hope after this emotional loss. What else do we have, Spirit, for group 2? We have an inexperienced card coming up. So perhaps what it is that you have lost is coming from a place of inexperience. Perhaps this is going to be a lesson gained, which will then make you more experienced. You're going to move from the state of having more inexperienced energy, having more fool energy. You're going to move from this state and you're going to become more solidified because you're going to take it as a lesson learned. Saturn energy, expansive energy. You're going to take it as a lesson learned. That's why you're in the in-between. You're learning a lesson right now, or in spring 2021. What else do we have, Spirit? We have childhood, innocence upside down. Oh my gosh. Right there, innocence next to the Fool, and inexperience. Spirit couldn't have said it any better. It's like, well, we have the inexperience right next to the innocence, and the innocence is in reverse. So the fact that this card came after the inexperience tells me that you're coming to terms with your childhood. Perhaps you might have even had a traumatic childhood or some sort of event that happened that made you grow up very fast. Perhaps it even happened recently, and that's why you're going through an emotional turmoil. And this insight is happening right now where you're seeing that you have learned a lesson. You are learning a lesson. And the lesson starts from the gained awareness of being in the now, of moving past that which no longer serves. And it's just a really tough lesson to learn. It's a really tough lesson to uncover the past and to realize that it's not serving us to keep living in it. Therefore, you are in the in-between, and there is brighter days ahead. It comes with knowledge and turning this darkness into light. Turning the loss that you experienced into a lesson learned is going to be what is going to heal you this spring 2021. I hope this helped group number 2. If it did, please like and subscribe down below. I look forward to seeing you again in a future reading. Take care. Bye. Hello, group number 3. If you chose pile number 3, then this reading is for you to determine what it is that you are renewing in spring 2021. So Spirit, let's see what we have for group 3. We have the 4 of Cups coming up, and right away I'm getting a strong sense of Cancerian energy. Our man here has the crab on his crown. So perhaps you, being a Cancer sign, you're feeling very intuitive. Perhaps you have a lot of Cancer elements in your birth chart, or you have strong relationships with those of Cancerian energies. And keeping in mind that this quality does help make you very intuitive. It does awaken the crown chakra, the crown chakra and the third eye chakra. We also have a sense of being in balance and being in a state of prayer and meditation. This man is actually very in balance because of the directions on either side of him are being honored, and as if he is putting an offering up to each direction. I really enjoy this card. It's as though you are planting seeds with such intention that syncs in alignment with nature. What else do we have? We have the Emperor coming up. So it might be that you're feeling attacked by society or hierarchical influences right now. I don't necessarily feel as though you are in Emperor energy, but it may be that elements of the Emperor have strongly influenced your life, have strongly impacted the way that you see the world. And perhaps some of those energies, what happens when people are oppressed by a figure such as the Emperor, is they have the potential to become the oppressor themselves. So I'm getting this sense that you are an empath, and when you come in contact with these sorts of people, they can leech onto you. They can really attach onto you in a negative sort of way because they take advantage of your kind, caring, nurturing energy. So I feel it's just really important to be aware of those dark influences that come up, and as a strong empath, to cleanse yourself and to analyze things from a deeper psychological standpoint, to release those behaviors that are not yours, to not take on other people's behaviors wherever you are picking up on them, whether it's you're seeing it in the news, whether you're seeing it from a friend or an acquaintance, a colleague who just does not have a good energy about them. It's time to release that because it is not your own energy. You have the waning gibbous moon coming in. So we probably just received some abundance by the time of spring 2021, and now we're feeling kind of in a state of calm, or in a state of reflection, on the way of the world. You're gaining insights, that is for sure. Group 3, Aquarius energy coming up. So perhaps we have some Aquarius energy in the birth chart. It might also be that you have some planets in the 11th house of community, or perhaps you're being very influenced at this time by a lot of the Aquarian energy in the cosmos as well. So the Aquarius energy, you are starting to communicate more with other people. You are starting to take advantage of our technological advances. Perhaps you are networking more online and taking more creative risks through technology. What else do we have for group 3? We have the King of Wands in reverse. So I like this King of Wands in reverse after the Emperor as a sort of balancing act. But what is a little confusing about it is that this is very natural based, and this right here is nature being destroyed. So when we turn this card right side up, we can see that some of those similar elements are indeed on this card. I don't know if you see it, but this sure looks like fire to me, and that sure looks like a lion, almost a ram's head if we're feeling very adventurous. But I'm getting a sense of this strong energy force here and rather jagged, sharp energies. And over here we have nature being destroyed. but then you have this in reverse. So it's almost like we're overcoming some of those energies where we're realizing that this fire that's happening is actually occurring elsewhere in nature, and we're having some sort of insight about it because we're meditating. So when we see this over here, it's as though you're having a premonition. Perhaps you're very psychic, and perhaps you're having a vision of the earth being affected by this strong patriarchal energy, and you are being very aware and woke to it. You've become very aware of it, or you are becoming very aware of it. And why this is in reverse is probably because it needs to be acted on. It's in reverse, which demonstrates a blockage, and we want this King of Wands energy actually, because it's actually very natural. Wands are natural in contrast to swords, right? Wands are natural. They're derived from nature. We want this card upside. We want to overcome this blockage because right now, Spirit says we have a blockage where we're aware of this strong energies that are destroying our world, and we need to act upon it because we are being channeled by Spirit to act upon it. We are being channeled by Spirit, and we need to pull out our wand, our magical skills and abilities in order to be able to act upon it. What else do we have, Spirit, for group number 3? We have the 5 of Wands card coming up, which is right side up. It gives a sense of like something didn't turn out. Something didn't quite turn out. Perhaps recently there was some sort of mental falling out with people. And perhaps this is the reason why you keep getting these strong energies coming up in your dreams, in your premonitions, in your meditations. These strong forces are coming up, and it was probably triggered by a mental falling out with people in your life. Maybe they were friends, maybe they were family, maybe they were old employees or coworkers from a former job. We've had some sort of falling out, a mental falling out where you felt mentally attacked, and now you feel scared to share your voice or your interpretations of this dark omnipresent energy because you're worried about mental attack happening to you again. What can we do, Spirit? What do we have for group 3? Well, we have potential. Now that we're aware of what is happening, we can change the course of direction. We have potential. We have potential to move past. I also see that there is an escalation of numbers here. We have the 4, 5, and then 9. So it's like it's telling a story. It's going from 4. We were meditating. We had a vision about the falling out with certain individuals. And now that we've gained awareness as to why we're having this spiritual blockage, why we're scared to share a message that has been channeled by Spirit, now that we've become aware of the blockage, there's the potential to move past it. What else do we have, Spirit? We have time. Time heals all. Time is coming up, and this is a strong message for group 3 because there is the number 3 for group 3. So this is definitely a message to say that in time, things will heal and clear up. In time, we won't feel as hurt by these old wounds anymore. In time, we'll be regaining the voice to share the message. What else, Spirit? We have one final card to piece it all together. We have the River Movement card coming in. So we're going with the flow. We're not stagnant. you've gained awareness and you're not going to get stuck. Time is going to continue on. You're moving with the course of the flow of life itself. And what's wonderful about this river card is that there was some strong water energy from right off the bat with the cups and the Cancer symbolism, and to finish and top it off with movement and a water, and the presence of water is showing us that you are moving in the right direction. So that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe down below. Stay tuned for future content, and I look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Bye.